radio station, owned and operated by the TVH Group of Networks Incorporated, with license number BST-0059-2023 REN 0862, authorized by the National Telecommunications Commission until December 22, 2026. The Cool FM studios are located at the TJON Building, Emerald Avenue, Ortigas Center, Pasig City, with transmitter at Antipolo City, operating under 99.5 MHz with a power of 50 kilowatts. 99.5 is maintained and operated by the following personnel, duly licensed by the Professional Regulation Commission and the National Telecommunications Commission. Michael Flores, PEC number 0023599. Edgar Bernardo, EC number 0069955. Doroteo C. España, EC number 0044489. First Class Radio and Telephone Operators, Christopher L.R. Nice, 95-1 PNCR-24771. Ernesto D. Manogid, 94-1 PNCR-22552. And Samantha E. Fernandez, 2K-1 PHN-16963. This is DZYW 99.5. Now signing on.
Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masanglamaw, number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan.
Live from Cool Studios, this is koolNews Early Edition.
Well, good morning and welcome to koolNews Early Edition. So today is July 5th, 2024, and we will be getting into the headlines that you might have missed yesterday and today. So yes, it is exactly Friday, July 5th, 2024. So now let's get into the headlines. Here's the first one. The Supreme Court has procured its first ever comprehensive health care plan for the entire judiciary, doing away with the practice in previous years where the different court levels would go through the ETS care plan. The healthcare plan next Monday covers all incumbent justices of the court and Court of Appeals, Court of Tax Appeals, and Sandigan Bayan, judges from the first and second level courts, and all officials and employees across all court levels. Through this initiative, the Supreme Court seeks to ensure that all judicial officers and employees, along with their qualified dependents, are given proper access to health services and products with minimum personal contributions, Chief Justice Alexander Gasmundo said in a statement. The High Tribunal noted that in previous years, different court levels had to undergo a tedious process of procuring their respective insurance plans. Now, with the newly acquired insurance, the healthcare plan is standardized, the High Court said. The private health maintenance organization, HMO, not by the High. The bundle is the partnership between local firms, Kaiser International Health Group Incorporated, and Manila Bankers and General Assurance Corporation. Thus, Mundo expressed hope that the comprehensive healthcare plan would encourage individual officers and employees, as well as their eligible dependents, to proactively seek medical care as needed and embrace a healthier lifestyle free from the worry of unforeseen financial strain. Through this, we hope to protect their physical and uh, psychological health to guide performance as they fulfill their roles in the administration of justice, he added. The Supreme Court said the initiative was in line with the strategic plan for global innovations 2022 to 2027, wherein it committed to address the needs and welfare of its internal stakeholders by procuring a comprehensive health plan for the entire country. According to the notice of award dated June 11, Kaiser and Manila Bankers secured the contract worth 951.68 million pesos for the comprehensive healthcare plan. The Philippine Health Insurance Corp. PhilHealth allows government agencies, public corporations, and financial institutions to secure the services of private HMOs, but the benefits should not duplicate that of the state-run health insurers. PhilHealth President Emmanuel Ledesma, in Advisory Number 2024-022, noted that the Commission on Audit has permitted the purchase of healthcare service coverage from private HMOs, provided that the programs or benefits covered therein are not being covered or provided by the PhilHealth. Ledesma said government agencies should make sure the supplemental coverage are not paid for by the benefits already covered through PhilHealth, as this could constitute double compensation and irregular disbursement of public funds. PhilHealth's coverage includes the payment for basic and essential health services for select inpatient and outpatient services, primary care services, and select diagnostic and commodities and select catastrophic cases. Excluded from PhilHealth coverage are hospital amenities, expenditures of specialists and health facilities, special outpatient care, most outpatient drugs, non-Philippine national pulmonary drugs, commodities, device and certain procedures, outpatient emergency services, select rehabilitative and palliative care, and annual physical examination. Presidential Peace Advisor Carlito Galvez Jr. said that he would propose to Congress the creation of the Department of Peace in place of the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity. OPA-PERU, formerly known as the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace process, was renamed under then President Rodrigo Duterte's Executive Order Number 158 in December 2021. It was tasked to manage, direct, integrate, and supervise the implementation of the government's comprehensive peace process. Galvez pointed out that the move to transform OPA-PERU would address the security tenor and career advancement of peace builders who have dedicated their lives to peace work in the pursuit of institutionalization and cultivating a culture of peace, as well as sustaining the gains of the comprehensive peace process. The proposal to rename the Department of Health into the Department of Health and Wellness may be well-intentioned, but ultimately a fertile endeavor for the country's public health outcomes, former Health Secretary and Iloilo Representative Benedict Garin said on Thursday. Honestly, it will not make any difference, Garin told reporters. The DOH has far more problems that should be paid attention to, and in any case, wellness is already part of health. It also goes without saying that this would entail costs, he said. You will have to replace the logo from the central office down to the hospitals till until the very bottom ranks of our government. It would have been okay if the impact would be great in terms of public health, but it won't. Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa earlier proposed to rename the DOH as the Department of Health and Wellness to align the country with global goals for wellness lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. The Philippine National Police has identified a former police officer as among the 7 persons of interest in the disappearance of a Pampanga beauty pageant contestant and her Israeli boyfriend excuse me, in Central Luzon, according to the chief of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. Yanaba Lopez, age of 27, of former Mutya ng Pilipinas Pampanga candidate, and her Israeli boyfriend, Ishak Cohen, age of 37, have been reported missing since June 21, when they left their house in Angala City in Pampanga for the Portola province to check a property that they were planning to buy. The CIDG, according to its chief, Major General Leo Francisco, has been looking at 7 persons of interest, including a former policeman assigned in Angala City who served as the middleman for the real estate transaction. Francisco, however, did not name them. The former police officer is willing to cooperate with the investigation, Francisco said in an interview over DCW on Thursday. Based on the preliminary investigation, he did talk to the couple, then they parted ways. He only found out later that the burned vehicle of the couple was discovered, he said. The middleman said in a sworn statement to the Capas police that he met with the couple in front of a gasoline station in Barangay Cristo Rey around 2 p.m. on June 21, and they drove on board their separate vehicles to Armenia, which is accessible via Jonco Road. The middleman said he parted ways with the couple after Lopez inspected the 2 parcels of agricultural land in Armenia. The couple's vehicle, a Nissan Terra Sport Jewelry vehicle, was found early morning on June 22 along the Capas-Sanjo Road in Capas. The CIDG Francisco said it's looking into 3 motives behind the couple's disappearance but declined to provide details. So far, there are no indications that Lopez and Cohen were killed, he added. In Pampanga, the Central Luzon Regional Police formed an investigative task group in a bid to consolidate all collected information and solve the case in the soonest possible time. According to Captain Erica Evangelista, Public Information Officer of the Provincial Office and Police, Special Investigation Task Group, Pinachak now processes the security camera footage obtained from the residential and commercial buildings set up along roads where the vehicle used by Lopez and Cohen had traversed on the day disappeared. The video footage are being reviewed by the SITP, which has collated all information from different police officers, stations, and units. Colonel Reynaldo Oki Jr., the SITP head, wants information to be accurate for the speedy resolution of the case, She told the Inquirer in the phone interview on Thursday. O'Brien is the Central Luzon Police Deputy Regional Director for Operations. But Evangelista clarified that the SIPP shop had not identified anyone as a person of interest as of Thursday. Colonel Ogay ordered the immediate review and the assessment of all available information to get state facts, he said. Evangelista said different versions of stories and sometimes even conflicting information have been shown and released to the public, including posts on social media about the guilty couple. She said facts need to be separated from fiction in order to have a credible investigation and conclusion. Meanwhile, the Inquirer learned that PNP Chief General Romel Francisco Marbel directed on June 29 all police office and units involved in the investigation to solve the innocent couple's case within 5 days or until Thursday. It was learned that the Central Luzon Police and other police units were seeking an extension of the 5-day deadline as investigators remain clueless about what happened to the couple. Okay, give me a second. We will be getting into cool weather in a bit. Oops. Okay, just give me a second. Alright, and while we are waiting for the live stream to load, well, we're gonna show you, well, we're gonna just get into preparing the headlines for later gap of coolness early edition. Alright, bear with me. Else we're going to be hearing the 4 a.m. podcast bulletin on radio and on TV. So just give me a second. We're just see. We're just waiting until if it loads. We're just waiting if it loads. Just bear with us. Okay, sorry for the long wait, everyone. Sorry for the long wait. We're just trying to get the podcast or forecast to show on the TV and then also be able to hear it on the radio as well. So just bear with us. But in the meantime, okay, then we're not gonna go waste our time on that. So yeah, we're not gonna waste our time on that now. So, anyways, we will be right back for more headlines right here on koolNews Early Edition.
Welcome back to koolNews Early Edition. Let's continue with the headlines. Okay, so let's fix something. Because yeah, we will be getting into cool weather later, but for now we're experiencing some technical difficulties. All right, so here it is. Leonard Abella, who is age 53, has been farming rice for decades, but his toiling has yet to pay off as he remains very in debt. He barely earns any profit from tilling the land, while whatever he earns is spent immediately to pay off his loans and buy necessities for his small scale farm in Ro- Rosales, Cagayan, as such as water, heat, and precipitates. W- mm, hold on. The income is small, not even enough for food. We are farmers, and yet we have almost nothing to eat, he said in an interview. With the new comprehensive trip program, reducing the impost on rice and other products from 35% to 50%, farmers such as Abella are concerned that consumers will opt for cheaper imported rice or local produce. In a bid to stop the government from implementing Executive Order Number 62 issued by President Marcos on June 20, Abella joined various agricultural and farmers groups on Thursday in filing a petition for certiorari and prohibition before the Supreme Court. The petitioners are Samahang Industria ng Agricultural Incorporated, Federation of Free Farmers Incorporated, United Boiler Racers Association Incorporated, Sorosoro Iba Development Cooperative, and Lawyer Argel Kababat of Magsasaka Party List. While the high three bundle deliberates the petition, the groups appeal for an urgent status quo and the order or a temporary restraining order on the policy. Named respondents in the case are President Marcos, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Secretary Ardencio Balisa Khan of the National Economic and Development Authority, and the Commission Chair Marilu Mendoza. The Department of Agriculture, however, warned that deferring the implementation of import duties on various products as far as the expected reduction in retail price of these goods. Government and private economics noted that the persistently high prices of food that such as rice and meat have been contributing to the elevated inflation rate nationwide. In general, if the Supreme Court grants the temporary restraining order, it is not good for our rice stocks because it will delay importation efforts of private importers, Agricultural Assistant Secretary Arnold de Mesa said in a briefing on Thursday. De Mesa, the DA spokesperson, explained that rice traders might hesitate to bring in imported rice due to the confusion over trip rates. And of course, if the request for the PRO is granted, the potential decrease in rice prices in the markets will also be delayed, he added. De Mesa said rice demand in the international market was declining and global prices were expected to further ease once India lifts its export ban on the commodity. In the 27-page petition, the groups asked the High Tribunal to declare EO62 as null, void, and unconstitutional, saying that it was successfully issued and violated the requirement of the Customs Modernization and Theft Act to conduct an investigation and public hearings on the matter. Under the flexible clause of the CMTA or Republic Act number 10863, the Trip Commission is required to investigate and hold a public hearings to afford interested parties a reasonable opportunity to be heard before any recommendation is submitted to the President by NEDA. Prior to the issuance of EO62, the petitioner said EO10 is already lowered the trip for corn imports to 5%, while pork shipments were charged 50% and rice 35%. The executive order that temporarily reduced the tariff on rice, corn, and meat products underwent the mandated consultations, investigation, and hearing, the petitioners said. As a matter of fact, the hearing petitioners were duly notified and have actively attended and participated in the investigation held prior to the issuance of the EOs, it said. However, the group said no such consultation or hearing was ever held specifically on the reduction in the tariff on rice and other agricultural produce under EO62. They argued that the mandated process was a limitation set by the law before the president could validly issue an executive order. Aside from allegedly skipping the procedural requirement, legal counsel of Virginia so arrest that the petition was also filed because it violated the state under Article 12, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution to develop a self-reliant and independent national economy. Lowering tariffs on products, specifically staple foods like rice and corn, poses significant challenges for local farmers. Lower tariffs can lead to an influx of cheap imported goods, undermining domestic producers and farmer sales and products, the petitioner said in their filing. This is clearly detrimental to the farmers, who may struggle to compete with the lower prices of imported products, they added. Soares added that the policy violated the constitutional mandate to protect farmers and unfair competition in trade practices, as stated under Article 13, Section 5 of the Constitution. This is a total sellout to our farmers. It's like you depend on imported products for all our food. That's wrong, she said. In a statement released hours after the filing of the petition, Nedas Balisakan acknowledged the decision of the farmers groups to pursue legal action against the implementation of EO62. We are currently awaiting the receipt of the petition and wish to express our ultimate respect for the legal process, he said, adding that NEDA would respond to the petition in due time. And now for the weather, here's Star, the Aurelio Mapakata weather specialist. We're just waiting. There he goes.
Ora.
Okay, hold on. All right, here is the cool weather brought to you by the Pagasa weather specialist, Alzar, our, uh, the Aurelio.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Narito po ang ating weather update. Kanina nakaranas po tayo ng kalat-kalat ng pag-ulan sa Metro Manila dahil po yan sa Intertropical Convergence Zone o ITCZ. Sa lagay natin ng panahon, inaasahan po ang maulap na kalangitan na may mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan at thunderstorm sa Metro Manila. Kasama na rin po ang Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region at mga lalawigan po ng Aurora at Quirino. Samantala, itong lalabing pong bahagi po ng Luzon ay asahan po ang bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap ang kalangitan na may mga isolated na mga pag-ulan o thunderstorm. Sa Visayas at Mindanao, dahil po yan sa ITCZ, itong buong Visayas at ganoon din po sa may Zamboanga Peninsula ay makakaranas din ng maulap na paporin na may mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan at thunderstorm. Samantala, ang lalabing pong bahagi po ng Mindanao ay magiging bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap na kalangitan na may mga isolated na mga pag-ulan o thunderstorm. Tulad na nabanggit ko kanina, itong ITCZ ay naapektuhan ang malaki pong bahagi po ng ating bansa. Itong ITCZ ay magpapatuloy ng epekto nito sa malaking bahagi ng ating bansa bukas, araw ng Sabado at yun din po sa Linggo. Kaya sa araw ng Sabado at Linggo, makakaranas po ng maulap ang kalangitan na may mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan at thunderstorm sa Palawan, ganun din po sa Western Visayas at sa Occidental Mindoro. Samantala, ito pong lalabing bahagi po ng ating bansa, asahan po sa mga araw na yon ang mga isolated na mga pag-ulan. Ngayong araw, wala po tayong gale warning, kaya safe naman po pumalaot ng ating mga kababayan sa buong kapuluan. Paalala, mag-ingat pa rin tayo dahil sa may inaasahan tayong mga pag-ulan dulot ng ITCZ. Sa susunod ng 24 oras, wala po tayong nakikitang wala tayong inaasahan na mabubuong LPA o bagyo sa loob ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility. Ang araw pong sikat mamaya pong 5:32 ng umaga. Ang araw lulubog sa ganap na 6:30 ng hapon. Yan po ang ating weather update mula sa Pag-asa. Ako po, Alzar D. Aurelio.
All right, there you go. So that's the weather update brought to you by Pagasa. Okay, it is now 12 minutes after 6, and koolNews Early Edition will return after these messages. Welcome back to koolNews Early Edition. So let's continue where we left off. All right. So let's see if we have brand new headlines. Yes, we will get into that right now. So, as incoming Education Secretary Juan Edgardo Soni Angara said on Thursday that improving the benefits of teachers would be among his priorities as he go to look into proposals seeking to increase their salaries. Angara added that he would also focus on simplifying the curriculum and improving the quality of teaching and working conditions of teachers. I am confident that under the Marcos administration, there will be an increase in our teachers' salaries. I am just not sure if it will be this year or next year, but there will be an increase, he said in a radio interview. In February, the Macambayan bloc in the House of Representatives filed House Bill number 9920, which seeks to raise the minimum monthly salary for teachers to 50,000 pesos. The lawmakers said they hope to close the gap between teacher salaries and the cost of living, as well as to address the distortion created by the doubling of the entry-level pay of military and uniformed personnel. Ankara said he would study the proposal in coordination with other agencies like the Department of Finance and the Department of Budget and Management. We are 100% in support of these increases for teachers because we know that the equality for of education is affected when the teachers are really inspired. We also get to attract the best and brightest teachers. Angara pointed out that he had been pushing for a hike in wages for government employees finance. To boost productivity and technology dissemination in the country's the agricultural sector, a lawmaker wants to create a Philippine agriculture high school system with secondary schools on farming in each of the country's regions. One way to increase the capacity of the country for agriculture is to promote agricultural education as early as in secondary school, said Cavite Representative Anila Tolentino, and of Senator Francis Tolentino, who has made a similar proposal in the Senate. In House Bill number 10324, with the proposed Philippine Agricultural High School System Act of 2024, the 28-year-old lawmaker sought the initial fundings of 500 million pesos to integrate the new system with already existing farming high school. Tolentino said that Republic Act number 10618, or the Rural Farm Schools Act, already passed the Department of Education to encourage the creation of at least one public rural farm school in every province. According to her, our new agricultural high school system could add focus to the farming sector by integrating already existing farming schools and hasten technology transfer, especially in areas with little state university assistance. She pointed out that the drift measure would promote the establishment of a complete, adequate, and integrated national system of education for the agriculture sector. In her bill, Tomatito cited World Bank data which showed that the Philippine agricultural sector employs 23% of the Philippine workforce, but national food security is now threatened 2 years from next month. The PAHS system would be placed under the joint supervision of the Department of Agriculture and DepEd, which would prescribe the guidelines and policies on the operation and management of agricultural schools, as well as basic curricula content to ensure their credibility and academic integrity. Under the measure, a board of regents would primarily determine the site of the PAHS main campus and the agricultural high schools to be established in the towns, cities, and provinces. The board will also set the criteria for the selection and admission of students and approve the grant of scholarships. The slight funding of 500 million pesos would be used in establishing and organizing the school system, and subsequent funding would be included as a separate item in the DA budget. Suspended Bambang Tawag Mayor Alice Guo cannot be made a state witness in the ongoing probes into illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators logos in Pampanga and Tarlac, according to Senator Sherman Cachilla. But he added that she could reduce her culpability by cooperating with separate special teams tasked to investigate her involvement as well as those of her family and friends. She cannot be made state witness because she is not legally guilty. Cachilla said in a statement to Senate reporters on Thursday. She is at the center of the Hongshan Poco Hub in Pampa by applying for the letter of no objection and other LGU local government unit permits, he added. Cachilla earlier urged Guo, also known as Guo Huaping, to cooperate with agencies and reveal crucial information about the activities and key players of Pocos involved in numerous activities. To reduce her culpability, she can reveal everything she knows about the operations of both the Pampang Pogo and the Prolac Pogo, as the two are interconnected, he said, adding that several other cases could be filed against Guo. Guo has been charged with unbailable qualified human trafficking by the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission and the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, along with several others. The Department of Justice said the preliminary investigation of the qualified human trafficking complaint is set to begin today, which is July 5. Other respondents in the complaint are former government official and Barbaros and from Vic Dennis Cunanan, Dihang Rujin Jin, Pao Ying Jin Lin, Rachel Juan Caron, Huang Dihing Yang, Delma Laranan, Rona Evangelista, Rita Waitura, Early Joy Castro, Yus Dihang Tan, Jai Mi Lin Cruz, Roderick Paul Gujante, and Juan Miguel Alba. The PAOCC said Huang Xiyang, Guo's alleged business partner who is at large, is believed to be a fugitive in China. Zhang Huijin and Lin Baoying were both convicted in Singapore for their involvement in a multi-billion-dollar money laundering case, it added. Okay, stand by. Just wait for there it is. Oscar-winning actor Leonardo DiCaprio has added his voice to a growing number of prominent personalities who have urged the government to protect ang Suni Geopark project, a critical conservation area in Rizal province. Nangsungi is a lush montane rainforest landscape outside of Manila, the bustling capital of the Philippines, the Capsio said in an Instagram post on Thursday. In the late 1990s, Nangsungi was illegally deforested. Local communities fostered the development of the Mount Sungi Reserve through efforts to restore this precious ecosystem, he added. Now, this success is in jeopardy as the Department of Environment and Natural Resources threatens to cancel the agreement that protects this area from prolific land grabbing activities. This cancellation would set back the success of an internationally acclaimed conservation effort and leave the area vulnerable again to mining, logging, and illegal developments, Nicasio added or said. He called on President Marcos to intervene and continue to protect Mansunggi, saying the protected area would serve to remind people the Philippines could become a leader in sustainability, ecotourism, biodiversity protection, and climate action. DiCaprio, the star of hit movies such as Titanic, The Revenant, The Wolf of Wall Street, and is in caption, is an environmental activist who formed the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, which supports conservation projects worldwide. For this, he was designated a United Nations Messenger of Peace for Climate Change 2.4. The DNR responded to DiCaprio or DiCaprio's post by saying it welcomed statements of concern for the Philippine government and international celebrities who are distinguished in their respective fields. However, no one is exempt from the Filipino people own the area occupied by Maxwell King Field Reserve Foundation and the operation of the reserve venues that charge the public for meetings and weddings remains non-compliant with Filipinos. Payment also enters as the DNR continues towards strengthening its investment capacities. We value all those parties who have committed themselves to the required processes and procedures as defined by its laws, it added. Under a memorandum of agreement signed with the government in 2017, the Masugi Reserve Foundation was tasked to lead the protected areas conservation. Environment Secretary Mayor Antonio Rubio Loizaga, however, announced that they were planning to cancel the MOA, move that environmental activities fear would discard the Geo Reserve by opening it to business development. Among those who have expressed support for Mamsuki are English conservationist Jane Goodwell, Buddhist activist Greta Thunberg, and British musician and activist Sting. Local personalities such as Del Castro have also lent their voices along with like Senator Nancy Binay, Quezon City Mayor Monte, and Pasig City Mayor Del Soto. Billy Dumalingang, a trustee of the Nangsumbi Foundation, told the inquiry in April that the protected area was one of the last remaining green corridors between Manila and the Tiramare mountain range. If it falls to urbanization and intensive land use, it will have a domino effect on the surrounding protected areas, she said. The foundation has refuted the DNR's claim that it operates a resort, saying it was a non-profit conservation site powered by low-volume geotourism. Well, that's interesting. American multinational conglomerate Federal Express Corp or FedEx will be doubling the area of its logistics facility inside Clark International Airport and Pampanga, the Business Conversion and Development Authority BCDA said on Thursday. In the statement, the BCDA said FedEx had signed an agreement with the operator and management and manager at the airport, Luton International Premier Airport Development, LIPMAN. This landmark agreement embodies our unwavering commitment to fostering sustainable development and economic vitality in the region, ensuring a brighter future for us and for the whole community. Lipid President and Chief Executive Officer Noel Manakil said, as quoted in the PCDA statement. We proudly celebrate this collaboration with FedEx Philippines for the gateway expansion within the project plan. He added, the PCDA said the new facility offer and has capabilities for local businesses looking to bolster their presence in international markets and support the growing demand for e-commerce, right, and cold chain shipments across the Asia Pacific region. Once completed, the PCDA said the facility would have doubled its current area of 17,000 square meters. For FedEx Philippines Managing Director Maribel Espinosa, this expansion is a testament to our strong commitment to facilitating cross-border trade and optimizing the country's supply chain capabilities. FedEx opened its Clark Hub in October 2021, state-of-the-art facility capable of sorting up to 9,000 parcels per hour and with a freight handling area of 630 square meters. Square meters, yeah. Okay, so apparently our studio has been disconnected, and of course this recording issue my computer, so I can't do anything about that. So just give me a second, as we will get back to go into the studio. Okay, we're back. So thanks for the while. So now let's get back into the headlines. The Department of Agriculture is rolling out on Friday a program that offers uh, at only 29 pesos per kilo in select Kadiwa stores in Metro Manila and neighboring Bulacan province. But the rice will be sold not to the general public, but to vulnerable segments of the population, senior citizens, single parents, persons with disabilities, and beneficiaries of the Panda with Pavilion Filipino program, known as 4Ps, the government's conditional cash transfer scheme for the poor. For its trial run, Program 29 will be conducted every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the next 6 months, the DA said. It will be simultaneously launched today at the Bureau of Animal Industry and National Irrigation Administration in Quezon City, Bureau of Plant Industry in Manila, Food Terminal Incorporated in Daquil City, Philippine Industry Development Authority in Las Piñas, Katiwa Centers in Caloocan City and Venezuela City, Barangay Fortune and PF City in Marikina, and San Jose Del Monte City in Bulacan. The goal is to make discounted rice available to about 6.9 million low-income households, which account for about 35 million Filipinos, according to the DA. Each beneficiaries may buy only up to 10 kilos of rice per household per month. Agriculture Assistant Secretary Gina Villicaria Guevara said to the press briefing on Thursday. The booklet will later be provided to the beneficiaries in August to monitor their purchases, she added. They are required to present their IDs and encouraged to bring reusable containers or bags for the rice. Based on DA estimates, Program 29 will require about 69,000 metric tons of rice during this period. The supply will be sourced from the aging stocks of the National Food Authority, the contract growing project of the NIA, and import shipments managed by DA affiliated entities. Aging FAA stocks refer to rice that have been in storage for 3 months or provide rice stockpiles that have been kept for 6 months. The DA hopes to use the trial period to gather comprehensive data on the supply and logistics needed for the nationwide implementation of Program 29, Locaria Guerrava added. All right, uh it is 41 minutes after 6 and koolNews early edition will return after these messages. Welcome back to koolNews Early Edition. Okay, so let give me a second. All right, so let's get into the last few headlines before we wrap up to this. All right, so let's continue. The Philippines and Japan are expected to sign on Monday, July 8th, a historic pact that would allow the two allies and former wartime enemies to deploy troops on each other's soil. After 7 months of negotiations, top diplomatic and defense officials from the two countries will meet in Manila on July 8 for the 2+2 meeting, a venue to discuss bilateral defense and security issues affecting the region and the signing of the First Local Access Agreement. Foreign Secretary Enrique Manalo and Defense Secretary Gilberto Derrido Jr. will lead the high-level meeting with their counterparts, Japanese Minister for Affairs Yoko Kamikawa and Defense Minister Minoru Iharo. We are hoping that during the meeting, the RAA or the Reciprocal Access Agreement will be signed. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romel Brano Jr. said at a press briefing at Camp Aguinaldo on Thursday following a common reference with President Marcos. Earlier this week, the Department of Foreign Affairs described the two meeting as the highest consultative mechanism between the Philippines and Japan today. The Philippines and Japan began the formal round of negotiations for the RAA after Marcos and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida agreed to start official talks on a fixing forces deal in the face of Beijing's growing aggression in the South China Sea. RAA is important because it will allow Japanese forces and Japanese troops to come into country and have training with us. It will also allow our troops to go to Japan and train with them, Rogers said. The Philippines has existing visiting force agreements with the United States and Australia, while Japan has a similar deal with the United Kingdom and Australia. Japan formalized an RAA with the United Kingdom after 5 years of negotiations, while it took 7 years of formal talks with Australia to sign the deal. During his meeting with Kishida in Madelang in November last year, Marcos said the RAA with Japan would help maintain peace and security in the region. We are cognizant of the benefits of having this arrangement both to our defense and military personnel and to maintaining peace and security in our region, Marcos said. Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, the Philippines Navy spokesperson for the West Philippines Sea, said the RA would be a landmark deal for Japan and the Philippines. This will be a very historic activity considering that the international community now extends a broad, united front that has to be put in place in order to check any attempts to disrupt the rules-based international order, Tito reporters on Tuesday. Both Manila and Tokyo have maritime disputes with Beijing in the South China Sea, a strategic waterway where more than $3 trillion of trade passes each year. And a recent commission survey by Pulse Asia showed that a large number of Filipinos favor a diplomatic solution to the maritime dispute between the Philippines and China in the South China Sea. The May 5 to May 9 poll asked 1,200 adult Filipinos nationwide two simple questions on how to handle the conflict and to choose the replies from multiple responses offered by the pollster on China's growing aggressiveness and uncertainty in claim to nearly all of the strategic waterway. To the question, what should China do in order to keep the tension between the two countries? The response were allowed to pick as many as they wanted from the various responses prepared by Pulse Asia. The top response, 64% was for Beijing to agree to a code of conduct to govern actions of the countries claiming territories and waters in the West Philippine Sea or the South China Sea. Following that, 61% wanted China to remove its coast guard and maritime military vessels from Philippine waters and the country's exclusive economic zone. Nearly half of the respondents, 49%, chose seeking payment of appropriate damages from China for destroying Philippine coral reefs. Taking steps to ensure that trade between the two countries is equitable was favored by 39%. China's extended or expanded investments in the country, especially in manufacturing and agriculture, received support from 23%. On the question of whether, not whether, I mean, of what could be the most effective measure to reduce tension between the countries, the respondents were told to choose only one from other points. To continue diplomatic discussions on development of port of conduct for claimant states into disputed waters was chosen by the biggest number, 41% of the respondents. This echoed the support they expressed to the first question on what China should do to ease tension in the West Sea. The pollsters said 33% favored proposing a resolution to the United Nations General Assembly to win majority support from its members to force China to comply with the Joint Bureau of War. Getting a mediator who will propose an agreement that will govern the actions of the Philippines and China in the maritime industry was backed by 17%. Only 8% said the Philippines should request U.S. military support against China's aggressive actions. The Philippines U.S. military defense treaty commits both countries to come to the aid of the other in case it is attacked. 1% said they didn't have enough knowledge to give an opinion. According to Fox Asia, which did not identify the contents for groups that issued the survey, 97% of the respondents were aware of information regarding the Philippines Sea over the past year. The release of the survey results came to the anniversary of the historic Bureau ruling that invalidated China's almost entire South China Sea. The Pulse Asia poll was taken before the June 17 attack by members of the Chinese movement against COVID-19 visitors on the response issued to the PRP Sierra Madre, the Philippine military outpost at Ayutthaya second Tapachong. And finally, the Philippine military won 60 million pesos in damages from China following the June 17 attack at Raytheon Second Commercial, where the Chinese Coast Guard wounded a Filipino sailor, confiscated firearms, and destroyed naval equipment. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romel Bronner Jr. on Thursday said he had written to Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. about the AFP's demand so that it could be forwarded to the Department of Foreign Affairs for them to reach out to their counterparts in China. They destroyed our equipment, and when we estimated the cost of the damage, it's 60 million pesos. Bronner said at the press briefing in Aguinaldo following a comment answer to the Marcos. He did not provide a breakdown of the amount of compensation liabilities left from the Chinese. One of the expenses that may have to be compensated includes the surgery of SN1 Jeffrey uh, Gooddoe, who lost his right arm during the attack. We are also looking into the possibility of charging them with the cost of restructuring the hand of SN1 of Gooddoe because he will undergo surgery to restore the function, Pakistan brothers said. And here are the top stories. Here's the top story for today. UK's Labour is on course for a landslide election win, according to the exit polls. So Britain's main opposition Labour Party looks set for the landslide election win. Exit polls indicated on Thursday, with Keir Starmer replacing Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister, ending 14 years of Conservative rule. As polling stations closed at 10 p.m., the survey for UK broadcasters expected center-left Labour win 400 seats in 650 state House of Commons, with the right-wing Tories winning only 130. And that is it for Cool News Early Edition. So, Now that brings us to the end right here of koolNews Early Edition. As always, you can send a news tip to us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, I am Hesper, and this has been koolNews Early Edition, and we will see you later for more headlines at 11 a.m. Good morning.